So, quick question.
Yes.
Who did the homework?
What homework?
I wasn't here last week.
Ditto.
I was at Father's Day.
So, I want you guys to know that I went and I bought $50 worth of Starbucks cards.
Can I?
Okay? So, let me ask you this.
Okay, so can I?
Alright. So, they're not $50 each, by the way. But I went and I spent $50 on gift cards. Who wants a second chance?
Me? Yeah.
Yes?
I don't know.
Okay.
This is
All right.
my first chance.
Yeah.
This is your first chance, but it's a second chance. 'Cause we missed you last week.
But
Haley
it's
missed you.
not-
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try it again. Okay? Because last week I wanted you guys to understand that there is a reason for your faith. It was just to give you a glimpse, but I don't want to give it to you. Okay? The reason why I don't want to give it to you is because I want it to be something that you pull into yourself, that you look up, that you pull into your heart, into your mind. It is something that you hold on to. So when somebody comes to you and says, there is no God, there's no reason to believe in Jesus, you go, yes, there is. And I can give you some reasons for it because I memorized it, because I made it my own. You're going to go home and you're going to pull up Google. Does everybody know how to pull up Google?
No.
Okay. You guys were born with Google. You should know how to get to Google. Okay. So you're gonna go home. You're gonna go to Google, and you're going to type in these 4 words into Google. These 4 words are evidence. Everybody say evidence. Okay. Say it up. Evidence.
Evidence that God exists. Evidence that God exists. Okay.
No. But you're sort of close. All right. So you're gonna look up evidence for the resurrection.
Evidence that God exists.
Now you remember it.
The rest.
All right.
Multiple words.
Okay. So.
Evidence for the resurrection.
Okay, so everybody repeat after me. Evidence for the resurrection. Okay, I need you guys to say it in unison with passion. Okay?
Write it down, I'll forget.
Oh, you guys are awesome.
Evidence.
I just thought I was going to make you like try to memorize it.
Evidence.
It is 4 words. Okay, so
For the rest.
sorry. All right, so everybody, with passion. Evidence for the resurrection. Okay, let's do it again. Everybody, with passion, like I can't wait to do this. Ready? Evidence for the resurrection. All right. Now, here's the thing. For those of you guys who weren't here last week, the reason why we're looking this up, the reason why this is important. Okay?
Wait, what's the assignment?
What is the assignment? You're gonna put that.
That's it?
You're gonna put those 4. You're gonna put those 4 words in Google, and you're going to next week. You're gonna come back, and you're going to be able to write down 3 things that you find in there that are evidence for the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Okay? Okay. So the reason why I gave you guys. Okay, I know most of you guys weren't here, but the reason why I gave you this assignment is because I wanted you to understand this. We have a reasonable faith. Because today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted you to understand that, okay, because I have a reasonable faith, I'm ready to do something with it. Okay? So, how many of you guys are driving it? I know you are, because I love your truck. Okay? You're almost driving. So are you, when you say you're almost driving, are you 15 and a half and you're driving with your parents? No. Okay. Okay, so you're almost driving, like you're this close to driving.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, anybody else? Now, okay, now you're not driving officially, but who's ever driven a car? Okay? All right. Johnny, when did you drive a car? 2 weeks ago. Okay, where? Because now, in the church parking lot. Excellent, excellent. Yes. Oh, you look like you're really excited.
I drove a couple of months ago. I drove from my elementary school back to my house.
Okay.
It's not a really safe road.
It's a really safe road.
Yeah.
And you have your permit? No. So you're saying it was a really safe road?
It was. I don't go glasses on, so that's when it becomes unsafe.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good. Yes.
It wasn't technically driving, it was steering, but last week on the highway.
You were steering on the highway. Ooh, I'm gonna come back to that because I love that. Yes.
While I was playing Fortnite.
While you were playing Fortnite,
Yeah, I was driving.
you were driving. You know what? You're gonna be a great adult, just like every other adult. So you steered the car on the freeway.
Don't tell my dad that I
Don't tell your dad that.
Oh.
Who were you with?
My dad?
But your dad didn't know.
No, he knew. It's just he doesn't want anyone to know.
Oh, okay. Okay, everybody. Shh. Okay, everybody. This is top secret. Don't tell anybody. Hi, YouTube. All right. So anyway,
Wait a second. That was fake.
but you're not afraid. You're not afraid. You're good. All right. So I'll delete it out. Okay, let me do my best rocketing. We'll delete it out. Oh, did I use my wrong eye? Okay. So, all right. So, but here's the thing. You were steering on the freeway. Have you? Let me ask you this. Okay. So here's the thing. You can steer a car on the freeway, but something has to be happening to do it, right? What? Okay, well, pedals, but what does the car have to be doing to steer? What?
Wait, moving, right?
Moving. Oh, good. You got it right. Okay, you can feel sick. Okay, yes, it has to be moving. Every time you get in a car, is it absolutely safe?
No.
No.
Unless you're in a video game, then completely yes.
Okay, but we're talking about real life. So, a car. A car, when you get in a car, is not absolutely safe, is it? You guys want to hear? So, I'm going to tell you a story. I don't care if you want to hear it or not. I'm going to tell you a story. So, I'm going to tell you a story about a time when I was driving and something happened.
Oh no.
So,
Were you playing Minecraft?
no, this is before Minecraft. This was before cell phones. But I want to show you guys this. So, everybody look at this.
Oh, I drove that.
No, you did not. But this is my old truck. Okay?
Whoa.
This was my baby.
Wait.
What?
Oh, yes. So there was a day that this was like most of my world. I loved this truck. Okay? I spent a lot of time, I spent a lot of time working on it. I really loved driving it because this truck was so great, it made me great. Okay? So, the tires, I don't know if you can tell, the tires were about this tall. And yeah, it was massive. It was a monster. And I loved this truck. And so anytime every chance I got, I would drive it. So one day, I'm out driving my truck, and I'm driving through an industrial area. There's a lot of industrial buildings, and I'm driving down the road. And it's a relatively wide road, but it's 2 lanes with plenty of parking on both sides. And I look up ahead, and there's this truck backing out of a driveway. I don't think anything of it. He's just backing down to the street. He's going to stop. I'm going to pass him. I just keep driving along. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then I look over, I'm like, he's still coming out. Well, he's going to come out like past like the parked cars. That's okay. He'll see me. I mean, how can you miss this? Okay? It's bright red and it's, 8 feet tall. So, let me go to my truck. So I'm driving around and I'm looking over at him. Again, he looks like he's going to come out a little bit further. That's okay, cool. And I'm driving around, and these tires, whoa, whoa, whoa. So it's like you don't even just see me coming, you hear me coming. And of course, I mean, come on, a truck like this without a booming stereo? No. So I'm going down, and all of a sudden I see he's not stopping. So I start moving over to the other side of the road, and I'm gonna get ready to honk at him because it's like, obviously this guy's not looking. How could you miss me? So I move over to the other side of the road, and then he's not stopping. I get up on the curb on the other side of the road and smash, crash. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, no, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. Okay, now I'm not like, I'm not the kind of guy who gets out and yells at people. Okay, even in my 20s, so it's like it wasn't something I did. But I jump out of the truck, I walk around, and I see like my truck's all messed up, and like, well, where's the guy? And then I look over and I look inside the cab, like, just got hit by a car with no driver. What the heck? And so I look at the side of the car, it's got a company name on it. I look at the building, it's got the same company name on it. And like, I figure like somebody's gonna see this. And I wait. Nobody's coming. Like, got this mess out in the middle of the street. And so I walk up to the building, knock on the door. Is this yours? And all of a sudden, the lady who owns the business, she freaks out. I guess one of her drivers was coming up, and their driveway, had kind of a hill to it, and he didn't put the parking brake on, and this thing just rolled out in the street right into my big, beautiful truck. I tell you all of this because when we get in our car, there is no telling what's going to happen, is it? I mean, how many of you guys have been in an accident of some kind? Okay? Life can be like that. So now I want to go to a story that, because we're going through the life of Jesus. So now I want you guys, we're gonna read a story. And go ahead, if anybody's got their Bible, if you've got an electronic Bible, or if you want to grab a Bible, go ahead and grab the Bible. What was happening in the story? You're gonna write down what they tell you. Okay? So we're gonna talk about the story here, okay? All right. So what's happening in the story? Who can tell me? Okay. Yes.
They're on a lake or like a big sea, basically, and there's a storm.
Okay. What happens first? Okay. I want to kind of put this together chronologically. What happens first? Okay. Okay. Read the first verse of verse 35.
That day when evening came, he said to his disciples, "Let us go over to the other side."
Okay. So what's happening? You're being really quiet tonight. What's up? All right. So what happens in the first verse?
Help me.
All right.
What is wrong?
Good travel.
Yes.
Jesus decides that he wants to go to the other side.
Okay, they're on one side of the lake, and he wants to go to the other side of the lake. Excellent. Okay. Read the second verse.
They crowded behind, they took him along just as he was. In the boat there was also other people.
Okay. So, what do? Jesus says, this is what I want to do. Now what do?
They cross it.
Huh? Which is what? Okay, but how does it happen?
They split.
They get a boat.
They get a boat, and they...
Say, put the anchor in the boat. Step on
They
the
walk
boat.
in the boat. I think.
Excellent. They get in the boat. They're on the land. There's the boat, and they're in the boat. Okay, so they go from not on the boat to on the boat.
Not on the boat.
What's that?
So why would you jump in a boat?
They walk.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is going to step in. Right? You got to be different. Okay. So they get in the boat, and they take Jesus. What? They actually say specifically about Jesus. What do they say specifically about Jesus? It says him, but they're talking about Jesus.
Walking to a boat. Yes, they're walking to a boat.
Just as he was. Like, there's no time to take a shower. He's not going to fix his hair. He's not going to change his clothes. I mean, he's not getting prepped for a cruise. It's like, okay, Jesus just as... And it's funny how they say it. They take Jesus just as he was. They get him in the boat, and then they sail off. Okay? All right, so I think the rest of this, like a bunch of this you guys probably know. What happens next? Yes?
Jesus falls asleep.
Jesus falls asleep. And where does he fall asleep at?
The boat.
The boat, yes. Where in the boat?
In the garden.
In the stern, sleeping on the cushion. There's Jesus, and he's out. Okay? You can imagine it's been a long day. Jesus is being, just crowds all the time. He's been teaching all day, and he's wiped out. He gets in the boat. He puts his head on the pillow, and he's done. Ever been so tired that as soon as your head hit the pillow, you were asleep? Okay, that was Jesus. He's done. He's out for the night. Okay, so they're sailing off. Jesus is asleep, and there's kind of a small group of boats. Okay, and what happens next? Somebody, yes.
A storm happens, Jesus is sleeping, and they wake him up, thinking not turning around.
Okay, but before you get to what they do with Jesus, I want to learn a little bit about this storm. What's happening in the storm?
The wave of the boat, it was nearly swamped.
Okay, all right. Did you guys hear that over here?
No.
What did she say? Yes, what did she say?
I think she said the wave nearly hit the boat and we found
Swamp, yes. Like they're in a boat. They're not in a massive boat. They're in a relatively small boat, and the waves are going over top. Okay, waves are going over top to where the boat is almost swamped. What does it mean for the boat to be almost swamped?
It's about under. Wait.
Yes.
This is my best friend.
I'm gonna go off what he said and it gets sunk.
Okay, so the water is just spilling the boat. Okay? So, now, I want to talk a minute about who's on the boat. We know Jesus is on the boat, and Jesus is sleeping. Who else is on the boat? The disciples. Does anybody know anything about the disciples? I know you do. Let me see if anybody else wants to answer before I call you. Yes, what do you know about the disciples? Okay, yes, what do you know about the disciples?
Jesus picked them.
Jesus picked the disciples. Okay, what else? What do you know about the disciples before they knew Jesus?
Fishermen.
What's that?
You're fishermen.
They were fishermen. I want you to understand that these guys, these disciples, their life before Jesus is not an easy life. Okay? These are not scrawny, lame, pastoral type guys. Okay? Like they're not like, oh yeah, we're gonna go out and tell people about the good news. No, these were hardened men. These were hardened men. These were not weaklings. And these were men who knew the sea, as we call it, the Sea of Galilee, okay? They knew what it was like to be in rough weather. When Jesus met some of them, they had been out fishing all night long. And then they come back in and Jesus tells them, go back out again. Okay, these are guys who knew how to work hard. They knew what it was like to be at sea. I mean, I want you to picture these guys like, these are guys who spent their day pulling in nets full of fish. Okay? Most likely, they were jacked. Okay? I want you to see these guys as tough, jacked fishermen with beard that is just like their beard is. I mean, they're so jacked up. Their beard is like you could poke one off and you could toothpick your teeth with it. Okay. So that's how tough these guys are. Okay. These are not wussy like ministry type people. They are like really tough. They just start throwing some water out, but then the waves get bigger and the wind starts blowing harder and the water starts filling the boat. This is not just like some easy-going storm, okay? I want you guys to see that. So then they get to the point where, okay, they go to Jesus. Now, if the storm is this bad, do you think Jesus is like still just completely knocked out?
Yeah.
Okay? I think that Jesus is like, it's a storm, it's not that big a deal, I'll just go back to sleep. I mean, the ship's rocking, his feet are probably getting wet, and it's like, this is annoying. So, what is the next thing that happens? So, these big burly guys, they run to Jesus and do what?
Wake him up.
They wake him up, okay? And they wake him up, and in what way do you think they wake him up? I mean, what does the text say?
Jesus.
It doesn't say.
Well, what is it? What
The disciples woke him up.
Okay, and they say what?
Teacher, don't you care if we drown?
Okay. So, do you think maybe at this point, these these big burly guys have let a little bit of panic set in. Okay? So I mean, this is not an easy storm. So now they're kind of panicking. And they wake Jesus up. And when Jesus wakes up, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Jesus wakes up. And does Jesus freak out?
No.
No? All right. So what happens when Jesus wakes up? And do you think these guys are scared at this point?
Yeah.
Okay, they're scared. They wake Jesus up. And what does Jesus do?
Speaks to the waves and says, quiet, be still.
All right. And what happens?
The
The
wind
waves
died
stop.
down. Completely calm.
Wind dies down.
Oh, when I
And what happens to the disciples at this point? Yes.
They were terrified.
The disciples are now terrified. Does this seem odd? Okay, they go from they're afraid they're going to drown, and they tell Jesus, and so then Jesus, tells the wind to die down, and then just put disciples are terrified. All right, that's good. We're good. You did awesome. Thank you. All right, so.
Everyone's first.
Excellent. All right, so the story is Jesus wants to go to the other side of the lake. They get in the boat. When they get in the boat, did they think any of this was going to happen?
No.
No. It's kind of like driving a car. You get in a car, you know what's going to happen. You have an expectation of what's going to happen, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay? Like if you get in the car, how many of you get driven to school? Okay? How many of you think for a second there's going to be anything other than stopping at stoplights and then you're going to get pulled up to school, you're going to get out of the car? How many of your parents drive you to school?
Parents drive.
Yeah. Okay? So how many okay, so you're thinking that here's what's going to happen. Mom's going to drive me to school. I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to try to shut the door as fast as I can before she goes, I love you, dear. Right?
I don't do that.
As my daughter shrieks in the back. All right. But something can happen and you just don't know what. It's kind of like that. And this is what I want to get to tonight because I'm kind of running out of time. But this is what I want to get to tonight. God is calling you to get off the shore and get in the boat. Because on the shore, when we talk, in a faith, in the idea of faith, you can live your life. You can live your life on the shore. And life on the shore kind of looks a lot like this. Facebook, Twitter. What's your favorite game on your phone?
Favorite game?
Huh?
Minecraft.
I don't
Okay.
have one. I have.
All right.
I don't have
Or sitting at home, Xbox.
Oh yeah, Minecraft.
Xbox.
And do you know why we like the shore? Because it's comfortable. Okay, awesome. You won't drown.
Wait.
If you won't drown, it's what?
Safe.
Yes!
And not
You
scary.
guys are so trapped with me tonight. This is awesome. All right, yes, it's safe. If you stay on the shore, if you stay on the shore in life, it's safe. You can sit in front of your TV. You can,
Minecraft.
you can play Minecraft. You can do all the things that are safe. But God is calling
Fortnite
you.
isn't safe.
God is calling you to get in the boat. Well, what happens when you get in the boat?
It's scary and bumpy and
You drown.
You don't know what's going to happen.
yeah, that's where I was going.
Okay? I mean, you have this expectation, I'm going to go where God leads me, and it may or may not be safe. And so we have this tendency to want to sit back. 4 years ago, Heather and I were up in Oregon, and we're living kind of a cool life, okay? I've got a business that's doing really, really good. We have this beautiful house. The kids are in private school. We got a pretty nice life. And then this accident happens. My dad gets hurt. We have to make a choice. Are we going to move to California and give up the house and the business and move down here to do what we think God has called us to do, which is to be here to help my dad? Okay? We said at that time, we know it's going to be hard, we just don't know how. It's 4 years later, we know how, and it was a whole lot harder than we thought. And there were times when I wanted to row back to shore. As my wife laughs, times, there was lots of times, like she had to like talk me off the edge of the boat. See how? But now that I've been through the storm, I am a changed person. Now, I honestly believe that God is calling all of us, all of you, is calling you to step in the boat. Now, I don't know what the boat looks like, but I want you guys to spend time praying about, God, what does it look like if I stay on the shore? Or what does it look like if I get in the boat? But here's the thing. You have three choices I think you have three choices you can make when it comes to this. Okay? One is you can stay on the shore. Okay? Where it's safe. Okay? The reason why God doesn't call us to that, because safe is boring. Okay? Because you'll get, it's like, oh yeah, I can sit there and play Xbox, or, just live this safe life, and in the end, you'll be like, gosh, I wish I would have done something. God could say, I want something very specific for you to do, and you get in the boat and you do that specific thing. Okay? Because now you're moving and God's calling you. Here's the third thing, and this is the one that you'll have to kind of think through a little bit. Maybe God hasn't given you something specific to do yet. It means you must do something. Because what we said earlier, can you steer a car that isn't moving?
No.
Yes.
Technically, yes.
That's not moving.
Yes.
You can't steer it.
Yeah,
It doesn't go
because if you
anywhere.
go like this, the tires move.
Tires move. Tires moving back and forth, but it's not
The
steering the
car's not
car.
going anywhere. Like it's not gonna move.
Okay? The car can't get to a direction unless it's moving. You can't steer it to some place unless it's moving. In the same way, just because maybe you don't know specifically what God wants you to do, get in the boat. So do something. So look for opportunities. You've got opportunities at school. Maybe God's calling you to the Bible club, okay? Or maybe God's calling you to join some group, or like you guys doing the doing worship band. I mean, that's getting in the car and letting it be steered. Worship was fantastic tonight.
Thank you.
You guys have no idea. I was like, oh my gosh, these guys are doing. You cannot know how I was just so impressed with you guys tonight. So, but in the same way, you've got to do something. So this week, so now you've got 2 homework assignments. So for those of you who didn't turn in your homework assignment this week because you were absent last week, this is just like school, isn't it? Now you have 2 homework
Wait,
assignments.
for this assignment, do we get Starbucks?
No.
Oh, now I'm gonna do it.
Why? You want a boring life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want your life to be boring?
Yeah.
My life's
Yeah.
always boring. I'm kind of lazy, so.
Do you, and that's what you want?
I just get really bored at home.
I do design.
Okay. So here's your second homework assignment. What is the first homework assignment? Who can tell me? Yes. Evidence.
I can't tell you.
And find you next week and showing you.
Okay. Excellent. The
And
second.
for the resurrections. Yeah.
Excellent. You're awesome. You're awesome. The next thing is, I want you guys to spend time thinking about, praying about, asking God for direction. What does it mean for me to get in the boat? Okay? If you are tired of the boring life and sitting on the shore, God said, Jesus said, I have come that you would have life abundantly. But an abundant life is not on the shore. An abundant life means getting in the boat and seeing where God will take you. It does not mean it's going to be easy. It does not mean there won't be storms. It does not mean there won't be storms. Storms! It does not mean there won't be storms. Okay? Maybe next time I'll just write it down and show it to you. Okay? It does not mean there won't be storms. It will probably get hard. Anything worth really putting your life into is probably going to be hard. But God will call you to do something really great that will build your life up. Okay? So I want you guys to spend some time this week. What is it that God would call me to do? And if He hasn't called you to do something specific, find something. Because even if it's the wrong thing, at least you're moving forward and you can course correct. But if you're sitting still, you can't course correct because you're not on the course. All right? Let's close in prayer.